Hey, Brett,
Hey guys.
we're having some issues here. Andy is uh, he's entered the room, but it just says joining. He's not showing up here. I don't know what's going on. And Chad's having issues with the microphone. We can't hear him, but you can hear us, right, Chad? Yeah.
Yeah, no
Here's
chat
oh,
audio.
here's iPhone Andy,
All right,
everyone.
here we go.
Hold on, Andy. You got
He's
to
got
get
to
unmuted.
unmute.
Yeah.
There we Now you can go.
All right.
Hey man.
Did you
Hey.
use a green screen to make that hat make it look like you're wearing a hat?
No, not yet.
It's actually a
Not
green
yet.
hat, and he just made it look
Yeah,
orange.
I just didn't want to go buy another hat.
I'm
Yeah,
just fucking computers being. Anyway, all of
mine
a
was
Oh
sudden,
fucking with me
boy.
too.
yeah, it's like I did something. They got kicked out. Now it's can't reach this page. Refresh does nothing.
Did you reboot it, Andy?
No, I'm gonna do that.
That's
Fucking
the
My
number one.
mine was
Yeah.
easy. I just accidentally hit my phantom power button at some point and didn't realize it.
So you threw 48 volts through your fucking you turned it off.
I had it off. Yeah,
Yeah. That'll do it.
every time.
All right.
All right. Well, I tend to think it's all just me, but it happens to others.
Was the laptop plugged into the light?
No, everything's, I mean, I run a check.
Hey, well,
Right.
Andy, take what he just said and think about your surroundings.
What did he say?
I asked if the your laptop was hooked up to your light.
Well,
Your
the light looked
laptop's
pretty
not
good.
working.
The
The
only
light
light we have for you
Extrapolate
is your
this out.
laptop.
The light looked pretty good with that other thing on.
The light.
Uh, I mean, with the
Yeah.
with the I don't know, man. All right.
You're doing great.
Yeah, this is why it would
Getting
be male. Jeez, yeah, my hat is fucking CGI effect. Here we go. God damn it. Yeah,
That's
see, it
the
says,
whole reason you put the green screen is so you can CGI an orange hat on your head. That's solid.
Is
Oh,
this
there's your light.
oh yeah, same shit. Oh
What's
wait,
it say?
no,
Can't read
look,
it.
yeah, no, we're back. I
What?
think I'm
Here we
tapping
go.
in.
Yep.
All right.
Once again, using the
See
same
ya.
account on two. No, actually, iPhone Andy's different login. Wait, what happened?
See you on the other
He's,
side,
he's,
bro.
he's gonna. There he comes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I miss you guys.
Oh, dude, perfect. Lighting's perfect. Green
And
looking perfect with those.
okay,
with
let's
those
work on the
shadows.
mic now.
That'll work perfect.
Oh, the hat changed color though.
Fade out. See, the light was all right with that other thing. I mean, when I on the computer, but when I put it on the phone, it looks like it was in a cave hole.
It looks like you are it looks like you are you've been kidnapped and you're broadcasting a secret message that you don't
Like an underground, like hidden room.
you look like you're under your
Oh.
blankets.
We thought I might have been from a van this week. I think Andy might be in a van
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, well, it's like last week. If the people watching want to put something up on my back screen, that's how this shit works.
You got it lit
Oh, is
perfectly
that
for
what's going on?
Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, I think one of the late night talk shows.
I'm actually I'm sitting in a downtown Manhattan high rise,
Oh,
so you can see the city behind me.
yeah, looking out over the Hudson.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in San Francisco.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God,
Wow.
you guys.
So I bet this Chaille will back me on this. Is you have to have shit accessible in your
Always.
computer.
Always.
Well,
Oh,
but
that
I mean-
wasn't the end of the question?
yeah, but you can't just go push Zoom back screen and have it. Well, man, I don't know.
What was
No,
the question? Start the question.
Sorry, I'm in
I don't know
space.
how
I
to
didn't
do
hear
it,
you.
so I can't finish the joke.
Chad's in the void of space, so you're gonna have to speak up.
I gotta stay in this bedroom, man. I don't know how to do it, and I don't even want to try. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, when I do it, I can zoom, I can blur, and then I can download a picture, and the only picture I have apparently on my computer, and is me sitting under a table in Vegas when I was tripping on LSD.
I know that picture.
Yeah, and that one I had it downloaded as a backdrop, and I didn't mean to. I just anyway, that's not exactly like a downtown, you know.
No,
To answer your question, yes, Andy, you have to be prepared and have the pictures in advance. And there's a place to click.
File.
Well, all right, a file. There is a place to click. On my interface, there's a plus sign on the background. That's a good addition.
No,
yeah,
I guess not.
perfect.
So you would click the plus sign, and that would add a file as a backdrop.
If I could just drag all my shit in.
You didn't listen to one fucking
he
word
was-
I said.
Well,
turning his
I did
light
You're
listen
on.
to
playing
this
with a
one.
fucking light. I should have
I
just
know.
stopped.
He said
know,
the
I
word
mean,
file to you, Chaille. He clearly
Yeah.
I'm
understood.
filing it away because that's what I need to do next time I get into there is to
Yeah.
go. I mean, just
I should call Chaille.
well, I was trying to
He said something about a file.
hey, does a cloud? Can you go from a cloud to from your phone to your computer with a cloud?
What?
That's what I was trying to I either email it.
Hey, say that one more time. I just
Well, I
want to
can't
figure out what
go
you.
around take. I don't have pictures on my computer, so I can either plug it in my phone into my computer, and that's a lot of. We
Well,
don't need to see
you
that
would
much.
you want to transfer files
It's too
from
much
your
shit.
phone to your computer.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of easy ways to just go from A to B with a fucking
There's
picture.
an easy way to answer
I
that
know
question: yes or no.
Yeah, I'm pleading the fifth.
Andy's 5 minutes from holding up pictures in front of the camera that he has taken with his own camera.
Wow, Chad just changed it. Are those real glasses?
I'm just finding shit now that Andy fucking talked about this.
I could
I'm
put-
like,
I-
there's all
God
kinds
so
of
damn it,
here's
shit
what
don't
I
here.
make
could
me
do.
try to look. I don't
And
even
maybe
know
I
how
can
to
do
do
this
it.
while I'm in progress here. I don't know.
So go down
I might be
below.
able to add. I
See.
might be
How do
able
you
to
do
add
it?
eyebrows. Yeah, see, Chad's doing some crazy shit there. None of that's happening, really. Brett's mind is blown.
I don't know how to do it.
Can't even comprehend. Oh man.
All right.
Chad, is that in the settings for the background and effects?
Choose video filter.
Yeah, when I do that, it just
I have
says
to change my screen view, and I don't like doing that.
Video filter. Where's that at?
Mine says blur my background, choose virtual background, choose video filter, choose avatar,
Oh.
and those were video filter.
none of y'all's got no green screen either.
Oh.
That's what's killing me is I got the green screen. That's what they tell you.
Well, you went with the outdated technology, but
The kids are past that now.
Yeah.
I brought my TV Pong over to the asteroid machine. Now, how does this
To introduce them to each other. Here,
Hey, wouldn't
this
that
guy
have
will be
been cool?
taking over for you.
Wouldn't that have been a cool play to have that TV Pong technology on the asteroid? And then instead of, your shot going off screen, you could have bounced it back and caught it.
Are you talking about a mashup between Pong and asteroids?
Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
asteroids was too difficult.
By the time asteroids came around, only our parents were playing Pong.
Well, I never.
Why was asteroids too difficult? You just had to point the ship at the rocks and shoot them.
Go up
I
and
had a
down.
nervous finger.
So you think that adding another controller with a paddle that's going up and down the sides of the screen is going to help you?
And generally, there was I don't even know if you call it weight or whatever, but and a lot of times it was lizard, the lizard. I mean, that's what we called him, Danny. The kid with the hair lip, we called lizard. He
Yeah.
would put his quarter. He was a little tougher. Well, he threw around threats more, meaning with they were more believable. Mine, like if I threatened somebody, they would not take it serious or whatever. But
Why were his more believable, Andy?
I don't know. Well, he
He's
said he was
tough.
going to burn my house down. And I mean, to
Oh,
me, it was very
Jesus.
believable. Is we don't have smoke detectors anywhere. A lot of
Yeah,
shit piled up and stuff. So it was it caught my attention anyway. And maybe I never
sure.
threatened anybody. I mean, probably I'd say I kicked somebody's ass or something. I probably didn't go say that
Yeah.
I'll burn their house down.
Burning somebody's house down is pretty specific.
You didn't like the, I mean, I was like racist against whatever he was. And he was just a white guy with a hairlip. So
You're a hair
You
lipist?
called him lizard and he threatened to
Hairlipist.
burn your house down. That's what happened.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it sounds like he's really good at threatening.
yeah, and maybe he did. Who knows? I don't. They don't speak of him down there at the bakery or whatever. It was like a character on like a TV character who was introduced and then didn't have a through line, so they got rid of the character because I don't remember whatever happened to him.
Oh, like Chet from Happy Days.
But yeah, I found out recently. Well, I went to Coquille on
Chuck.
Friday.
Chuck, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Coquille and I found out I had a feud I don't remember.
All right.
So,
All right. Excellent. Thank you.
We-
Thank
We
you.
are
Thank
up
you.
on step.
Like
All right,
manna from
and
heaven.
I'm gonna name this guy because he come out of the woodwork. I went to a funeral of a dad's friend, a lawyer, Coquille lawyer, and a good friend in high school's dad. So I decided I'm going to go down there, go to this thing, and it's really it was like I haven't been to a class reunion. Maybe I think I went to the first one or whatever. So now it's like all the people who are my age are all. It's like a fucking melted painting or something. It's heads look different. You got to go. That sort of looks like and you might get a
Yeah.
family member. But not the and this is not a class reunion. It's all different ages, so it was like, huh. I did pretty good. I picked out a lot of people at the funeral. That's kind of what it was a Catholic funeral, and I was sitting on the side, so I was just like looking around at people and shit, going, "Oh, I think that fucking dude might be,"
You're just naming people.
Yeah, but there's a few I would have never
It's
named.
kind of like what your dad would have been doing.
Right. Oh, yeah. But so I also realized while sitting in the sanctuary of this Catholic church, I was the first one of my. This is like I could have parked at my house and walked to this funeral. It was that close to where I grew up. I mean, not where I live now, but so it's like a block and a half from the Andrist house, and I'd never been I've been outside waiting for my buddy because he'd go to those whatever services they make Catholics go to Friday night.
Church?
Well, they do have a bunch of like you can either go to Sunday or you can go Saturday night, which always
there's services.
Yeah, all that shit,
But all right.
So you could go to one and then we just pick them up and go to get drunk afterwards or whatever. But I'd never been into the church, and I think people invite other friends to church. I was never invited to the church ever. And it's a Catholic church, so it would have been like to their benefit to bring more boys in. You get discounted drinks if you bring another kid to the party.
It's amazing they didn't get you in the boat.
Yeah, I can't believe that you weren't somehow in the mix. Like they did, like, hey, there's a new kid we're watching from over there.
Yeah, and I wasn't strictly religious.
Depends on if there's a class action suit, how fast he'll be part of that.
Yeah. Oh man, no shit. Yeah. And yet another Camp Lejeune that I can't really link myself to.
Just remembered.
And all them fucking snobs with Roundup. It was like, oh, we don't recognize that cancer or whatever. Well, then somebody needs to get together, all the pancreatic biodoctors, and go, hey, a lot of us use Roundup, right? Let's go out.
Hold on. That's a conspiracy. When you get other people to get in on a crime,
they're conspiracy. Yeah.
You guys are plotting to do something.
That's not a crime.
But I'm
Yeah.
sure they don't go
Fraud?
based on they
Not
don't go
fraud.
based on what people said they have.
Yeah.
They go based on the science of what kind of cancer it causes, Andy.
That's just it's a matter of time. It took a
You
while
said
for
they're
all
just
these.
not looking hard enough yet with
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
I
cancer.
mean, there hasn't been. I think it's newer, like they mixed it differently.
So you just got to get all of the bile duct pancreatic cancer people together,
I
and you
got
need
this
to fill
shit,
out
man.
an elaborate survey of about 500 things that you all did. And
None
then
of my
anything that a bunch of you did, you're like, all right, we all ate M&Ms, so peanut
peanut.
M&Ms.
Yeah,
It's
what
fine.
M&M did you eat? You know, you narrow it down that way. But so I got a
I
cancer
think
that
it's
wasn't in
brilliant.
my family. So it come from somewhere. I did asbestos
What
removal.
do you think? It's like the flu?
I got it. Yeah,
What do you give me this cancer?
if it's you either get it from from your family, which I've got
Oh
a
boy.
lot from my family, but not cancer necessarily.
But who else in your family had cancer that you
All
got
of
it
it,
from?
but different ones. So
I thought I read that everybody has cancer genes, and then certain things that you do in your life either activates them or not.
God decides who has cancer.
God.
Yeah, if you frown a lot, you're gonna
It
get
seems
cancer.
kind of like something
yeah,
God would
Yeah,
do to
God
me.
decides.
I agree.
So go to
yeah,
church.
God's done nothing but challenge me, but He knows I'm up for it.
Well, he only gives you what he thinks you can handle,
I,
Andy.
I know,
That's true.
I know. He's a kinky, twisted motherfucker.
What, whatever
Fetishist.
doesn't kill you tries to makes you try to join class action lawsuits.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And yeah, I mean, hey, everybody has my cancer. Let's do a survey. Let's narrow this shit down. It was either kettle corn, Slurpees. Has anybody gotten together with that?
Who likes lemonade?
Oh man.
So I'm at this funeral, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty recognizable. My friend Neil who, went with me, and he's a listener here, so I bring his name up. Nobody recognized him. Like he was a class under me, and same people who everybody recognized me immediately, or at least that's my recollection of it. Maybe the old people don't know who the fuck I was. I figure I did. Well, the hardest one was this lady that I was like, man, I know her from somewhere. And then I connected the dots. I saw her eventually with her husband.
Uh-huh.
He was out of view, but she cut my hair for like years. I mean, it's just like, well, I used to have mom haircuts that I would cry about. Like I'd have to go to school and, my mom just kept making mistake after mistake with the haircut.
Wait, Dory cut your hair like in the kitchen with a trash bag over your shoulder?
She would do, but like I had bowl cuts for at a time or whatever, but she had
literally took a bowl and put it on your head.
yeah, at some stage, and then and then I think she tried, and then she would monkey, that guy in the character, weird character in Fargo. A lot of those
Munch.
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 I had a lot of them, and then sometimes my mom would just do the scissors, and they would be, all fucked up, or the angle or whatever. So she didn't have a knack for it, but she did it, and then I remember this lady was the first, haircut. I think I was the paper boy there, and I may even hunted it out, and like, wait, other people cut hair, but. Anyway, so at the whatever, they had booze down in the basement, but I was like, I don't have a driver's license.
At the church?
Yeah, at the church in the Catholic, it's a Catholic one, so they Oh, so I started to say this. I was the first Andrist in there since my brother Larry was in there, and he wasn't invited in neither. He went after hours because it's only a couple blocks from our house, so it's like kind of surprising that a lot of us didn't think of it. But I think Larry went in there and got fucked up, but he did break into the church, did light vandalism. I'll have to quiz him about it. Nobody at the church was too familiar with it. It's been a few years, but
I'm sure it happens, you know.
But anyways, so down in the basement, this guy comes up to me and he starts off with, "Hey," he goes, "Andy, I just want to apologize to you."
Uh-oh.
Really?
It's a good start.
This is for something that happened 30 years ago. So I'm like, "Oh shit, did I get, this guy? I don't, you know." And and then he introduces me, or introduces himself, and the name is familiar, and I see it was on Facebook for a while. People you may want to be friends with. I was like, nah, that his name is Albert Gooley. So Albert Gooley comes up to me and apologizes for bullying me 30 years ago. Uh,
Nice
and,
of him.
yeah, and here's the power I took from him as a bully. I'm like, I don't remember any of it.
Or you blocked it out.
Well,
you sure you got the right Andy? Just completely undermine his apology.
I was drinking. I was
Oh, wait a
swiping
minute. He
grandma's.
looks at his notes. He's like, "Oh, wait, I'm looking for Andy Blandrist."
Well, yeah, Randy, is your brother Rex and Cherry and Stave? Here's what happened though, and I mean, all of this is very feasible and was very believable. I just don't remember it, but I was drinking a lot of cough syrup in those days. Not because I had a cough, neither. I just found it to be relaxing.
No, Andy, this guy's bullying would have to be like at a level that makes it stick out from the bullying from your brothers.
There's
like,
right.
You know what I mean?
So,
it's like that he could think that he was bullying you, but you're like, this is fucking nothing. I get Andy Aikenhead when I'm at home and put the fork in my fucking forehead.
Is there a fork sticking out of my skull?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Trip me all you want.
And he said he harassed me.
You call that bullying? Come home with me. Where I don't get food.
That is a fucking good idea, though. Now is that you make me think about it. I've never wanted to go to a reunion before, but now I want to go to a high school reunion and just start apologizing to people for bullying them. I'll be like, did that guy bully me? I don't think he did. It's like, you must have thought a lot of evil shit about somebody.
Somebody got, and then you go, if they go, I don't remember, and then go, oh, I must have missed you, fag.
See you in 20.
Yeah, so well, I drank a lot of cough syrup, and I did. So apparently, I was driving a Jeff Abby's mom's van, and she was a MILF. But anyway, that's beside the point. I was apparently driving this guy's van. I did drink a lot of cough syrup in them days or whatever, and I apparently rear-ended the gays. I don't know.
What? All of them?
Well,
was it like a Big Jim camper van full?
There was a guy. I mean, I don't want to.
Big Jim van.
These are guys that everybody just, we assume this.
Wait, it's not their last name, the gays?
One's Pinkley, Pinkley and Farron. They're two fellas that I'm pretty sure they turned out to have a fine, full lifestyle of being gay, because they were kind of standout gay, or you just hype, all that stereotypical shit, really tight pants. They hung out. They looked like they were, possibly together. But I don't know about Gooley, because now, I mean, he was threatened, but I rear-ended him. They were at lunch, and I rear-ended the gays. Yeah. So
you rear-ended the Gooley or the gay?
Albert Gooley drove the gays. Now I don't know that I haven't perused his Facebook, but his coming up to me and apologizing for bullying of me felt very hetero. It didn't seem like it was coming from a gay place where it's like, I've since come to terms with, dudes and everything or whatever, and things are fine.
He wasn't hitting on you.
So no, but so Gooley said, he threatened me and harassed me at school, and I'm like, yeah, and yeah, So he goes, and then he goes, and and I even called up your dad and was because so I guess I rear-ended him, and then he was harassing me for money. Like Jeff, it's fuck you, and then so, but it's just that he told me this at the funeral, and when he told me it was Jeff Abby's mom's van, I'm like, well, fuck you. You should have been taking it up with their insurance.
Yeah.
I would,
Wait, this is a whole insurance thing?
I get
Well,
well. So I think he just wanted to harass me for money because I rear-ended him. I probably spilled the gays were probably having a talk about how, and I don't blame him. Yeah, Coquille sucks. It's not a friendly place. I don't know if it's gotten better or worse, but that's how it was at the time. So they were probably going, fuck this place. And then they were, having a root beer and I spilled it. I spilled it. And then after the fact, dudes harassing me for payment and shit, you know.
Well, you probably don't remember that because you didn't have any money, so
Right.
it's pointless.
So
So it
here's the
didn't
thing.
register as even a possibility that you would
And he
ever pay
said,
them. So
and he said my dad, he called my dad to go, and then my dad threatened him. I was like, well, my dad stood up for me that time.
That's
Uh, uh,
awesome.
well, he threatened this dude, and then I go, by the way, did you know my dad was in a wheelchair? So you could have called his bluff easily, showed up at the house or whatever. But he said he'd heard that a few years ago about my dad being in a wheelchair. It's been a topic of conversation in Albert Cooley's world for a
weird.
while. Yeah. And then I went outside and had a couple of hits or whatever, or I mean, I was just doing that in the course of, being at a funeral. And and then I come back in and I go, oh fuck, I think I just smashed into your car, Ghoulie. But I think it was kind of bullshit. I think he was extorting me, and I think my dad threatened him. Oh, but he goes, and then I think he said my dad said Mister. So I'm like, oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was
Well,
the
I think
tell. You
yeah,
knew he
my
was
old
telling
man
the
said,
truth.
you come on over here, Mister. And my dad had probably, it's like, let's do this fair. Ghoulie, you sit in a chair. Dad, you roll up and hit him, or
Roll at each other from the
you can
tops of
defend
a couple
yourself
of
from the
hills.
waist up, bro. Anything else, and the rest of us are getting it.
It's go time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my dad would have been all right in that. He watched a lot of pro wrestling. And I think
Yeah.
when you get down to it, a lot of that shit is,
Well, and he would have a good grip just because everything was his hands.
Yeah,
So
strong hands.
I mean, you even knew you didn't want to get within arm's reach of your dad. You'd say,
Mhm.
you'd stay near the landing of the steps because he couldn't get near you.
Well, it was like a dog. You don't put your hand through the fence. I don't know if he would have done anything bad
Yeah,
or anything, but you
you're
don't.
really asking for it.
Yeah, it's kind of your own fault at that point if you get
Yeah.
caught. It's like the zone.
So yeah, so I feel better now knowing that and then later he came up and he goes, I didn't even know you had cancer, or he goes, I didn't apologize because I heard you had cancer. And he's like, I think he's an awkward feller too. But I go, well, kind of, I'm wondering if maybe hitting his car and then the harassment inflicted on me in high school started my bioduct from not functioning.
So fuck a class action suit. You're suing Barry Gooley.
Albert Gooley for
Albert Gooley.
Albert Gooley.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was bullied by a better, I mean, nothing against him, but I think I had other fish that were, I had to watch out for getting hit by bigger fish or whatever.
Right.
Tom Wilson was like a man in high school, like a man who worked like, taking engines out of a car using his shoulders and shit.
And he was 15.
Well, he was like no, I mean, I
He
ran into trouble.
wasn't a teacher.
No, he was another one my dad got involved with it. He was the one who, I don't even know how, it's just one thing led to another. I was being bullied, and while being bullied, I got my hip fucked up, or Tom Wilson threw me down hard on hardwood, And I don't think he meant to hurt me. Well, no, I think he meant to hurt me, and he just didn't. It didn't. I don't think he set out to do it. He just didn't care, and it happened or whatever. And and then I might. I don't even. I probably used the name complaining about it or whatever. I didn't. My dad was a sneaky. He stood up for for us when he could make a phone call to an administrator and berate him because my dad was a teacher and he'd been berated by administrators, and I think he knew how to work the system. So when Tom Wilson bullied me, then Tom Wilson got called into the office and was going to get expelled from school, which we all wanted Tom to play football. It wasn't just me, you know. My hip was fucked up. I wasn't necessarily, a factor, especially that year. I was a junior.
Let's be fair.
Wait.
Yeah.
What year were you a factor?
Yeah. What year was it like, oh shit, they got that Andrist kid suiting up?
Well, I think if I could have got more time my senior year, we could have won state.
We could have won state if coach would have just put me in.
I didn't really hit my playing weight till a few years into college. So
if only you could have gone back then.
But so I confirmed a couple of stories. Well, I confirmed a John Lindgren story that always, maybe I had heard it before from a good source or whatever, but it just seems like they can't all, the story was in a high school class, John Lindgren climbing the rope, which is, I don't know, it was high. It was, to the gym ceiling.
Wait, like where they're like in Greece,
yeah,
when they're
so
climbing the rope.
It wasn't
and ring
from
the bell
gym
or whatever.
floor all the way to the top of the auditorium, but there was a second floor, but it was still a huge climb, and there were mats under you. So when you slid down,
there was an inch and a half of foam covered by vinyl.
Yeah, when you were at the top, it was scary.
Yeah.
John Lindgren, I remember post high school where he would strike you as an idiot, as a stuttering, cross-eyed fucking.
He's like the guy on Revenge of the Nerds.
Ogre. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely he's ogre. Ogre who could never make it into college, but he climbed the rope and then touched the ceiling with one hand, and then somebody yelled, "Other hand, John." And John touches it with the other hand, which anything about physics or science.
Well, he let go of the rope with both hands.
He let go of the rope with both hands and fell down and then said, no, he was a simpleton, so I don't know what he said, but I'm sure it hurt. And he was cross-eyed, so I'm sure it was funny. But that was true. I talked to somebody about it. And then also a kid who was in the PE class with him when he put him in a sleeper hold and choked this kid out. They were doing wrestling and high school wrestling and PE, and he applied a sophisticated sleeper hold and choked this guy out.
And you found out that was true because you didn't believe that was true, or?
Well, it's like, the stories about him. And some of them are vulgar, with the town of whore, who was also retarded. We talked about her too, but they would go at it and fuck. And there's a lot of sex stories, and there's a lot of bar fight stories with John and stuff.
Wait, bar fights after he graduated, or bar fights?
Oh yeah, no, bar fights on through. But he was the guy we'd pick up. So, he was, when I was 18 or so, he was class of 77, 78, 79 or whatever, if he ever graduated. But he was, I know he was in the class of like 76, 77 range. Well, so he never made it out of town necessarily. And I think he would have been a pro wrestler, but it would have just been, he's a character already.
Yeah.
And he's too simple to maybe get it. But if life would have worked out, I could have seen him as that. But instead, he was just a town drunk who would show up to the football games and on the sideline with a beard dripping of Copenhagen and yell obscenities and tell us to fucking murder, that he'd get fired up and say shit like that. It was always fun to turn around and see JL there with his fucking thing, and then we'd pick him up. There he is. We'd pick him up to buy booze for us, and he would punch you, like he would hit you, and take a lot of booze and everything. That's how we'd get
But
booze.
that was the only way you were getting booze, was if he went.
Yeah,
because he probably intimidated the Korean market owner.
And it's kind of it's like when a dude who looks like Ogre with a fucking red beard full of Copenhagen, stuttering John, cross-eyed, takes a pull, he buys you the bottle of whiskey and he takes the first drink off of it.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and then it was like, I mean, how are you gonna, say, well, now you ruined it, you fucking big ape.
How did he ruin it?
Well, it's fucking over.
If you want to dance, you got to pay the fiddler.
Yeah, I know. So it was like, that's how you drank your Seagrams, with a little bit of Copenhagen floating on top.
That's true, yeah.
John Lindgren.
You didn't even know that whiskey didn't have wintergreen flavor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that guy, I just heard about this friend's dad's funeral a few days before it, and I shot down. I had a good. Anyway, I wanted to go pay my respects, but if like John Lindgren died or something, I would maybe go just for content, to go out and go, or maybe.
Andy, did anyone have any like sightings of John Lindgren? I know you guys talked about things that happened back in the day, but was anyone like, where is he now? And they go, oh, I saw him. He's over at the Gulp and Go.
Just that he's I don't think he makes it around. There's not those, we all lose a step. And his step was crushing other people's heads and shit. So he's probably in some sort of a retirement cage.
He's pretty old now, huh?
I don't know. I should investigate. I know that we heard he was alive, but
he's the same age as you, Andy? Was he the same class?
No, he was like, he's class of 77. He's about 8-10 years older than me. I mean, it's hard.
He was a legend when you were coming up.
Oh, I thought you guys were contemporaries.
No, well, we were in attitude. So we played. There was an alumni football game. I don't know what year. I think it was, 88. I was a few years out of high school, so I still was sort of okay to, that we played this alumni football game. And John Lindgren was in the newspaper, hoisting a helmet, and like we, and we lost the game too. This was maybe at halftime or whatever, but he looked just like Ogre. And
but he's not a student.
It's an alumni.
It was an alumni, so it was a stupid fucking thing to raise money for the thing, and it was like,
yeah, that's right.
I was at the young end of people that played, and there were a lot of old. It was like longest yard with all.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before. What was your contribution in the game? Did you have a lot of yards? Did you have some catches?
No, I didn't do shit. I ran into this big dude from Myrtle Point, and then I backed off. Like I made
sure everyone got extra baskets.
Yeah, like the shit I used to do in high school did not. At least with that, like I would sucker people, or in high school on special teams or whatever. I just run into somebody who wasn't looking. And I did that in this Myrtle Point game, and it was a fucking I think their name's Shrum, something like that. It sounds like Scrum. But this big fucking dude who's like it's like a signpost or something I hit. And then and he turned around and I'm like, oh fuck, and I just like, I covered my number on the way back to the huddle so he wouldn't remember me.
I think this is either a Keystone Cops or a Harold Lloyd movie.
Yeah, well, it was
silent era movie where he's running with the ball and he hits the guy and he falls over and
bounces off.
Goes the other way and scores a touchdown for the other team.
It was really pathetic, and the final score, it was like the final score of this thing was 2-0. And
a safety.
Yeah, a friend, a dude from my town who played college football, who was a pretty good athlete, fielded a punt a couple yards deep. It rolled into the end zone. He picked it up and decides to run with it, and his knee fucking buckles. and he gets tackled in the end zone for a 2-0. And we were talking about this at the funeral of how amazingly wet the locker room was with. It was a 2-0 alumni football game. I didn't care. In fact, I was drinking. I had a fucking bottle in my sock. You know, I wasn't the only one that was flask drinking during the game. You know, like I wasn't making any effort, and nobody could catch. You know, it was the 0 to fucking. You know,
What
I
do you
was
mean
in
the locker room was wet?
Like
tears,
overly wet.
tears flowing.
Crying?
Yeah, they were like that's how
That
the
doesn't come
I don't
across when
understand
you
it.
say that the locker room was like super
Oh, you
wet.
thought we were smoking
I
ancient?
thought
don't
the
know
pipe
what
broke
I asked for a reason. I didn't understand what that.
We lost 2-0 in heartbreaking fashion. That
All
was
right.
That's sad for both teams. No one's the winner there. Everyone loses, especially the people who paid to
well.
watch it for
I
charity.
would have. I mean, I would have soaked it in and videotaped it had I known or whatever. But it was, it's like, come on, fellas, we raised money for the high school, and that's what it's all about, right, yo?
How much do you think they raised?
Fucking enough for a helmet.
$80?
No, I mean,
$172.
I would go, and if your town wants to do that, I would go to it because it's like a chance to see all the fucking town assholes give it one more try, and you never know, whose knee's gonna go. There was a lot. I remember the first quarter or so, it being, pretty heated and pushing back and forth, and it's like we all were separated by 9 miles and 0 IQ points.
Right.
It's an even matchup of assholes. We're all in the bad gene pool.
I
So
love that you cheap shot at a guy and then just bounced off of him and then
yeah,
slinked away, covering up your number so that he didn't see you.
it would have hurt a lesser dude would have been, that would have jabbed him or something.
Yes, but you understand that it's specifically against the rules, especially now, to just hit somebody who's not looking at you. It's not
That's what that's what we called it, the meat squad, and that was they liked it. Those films were, you'd watch those grainy films, and if it didn't even have to be near the action. If you just pop somebody and it made a loud pop near the camera, you look
Wait,
like
you
you were
guys
doing.
watched film? Your team actually had someone
I
filming you
don't know.
guys?
We watched film
A
on
little
the
bit.
high school football team I was on for 2
I
years.
know.
Yeah,
we
but I'm talking about the team that
I think
never
we did.
wins.
I think we did a couple of times, but maybe it was like the end of the year parents compilation.
Blooper reel at the end of the season.
But if you hit, like, that's what I would do is like on the special teams. There's 11 other. There's one guy with the ball, and then there's 10 other guys. Chances are you're not going to get closer or hit the guy with the ball, so you hit somebody else impressively. You make them.
Oh my God.
make
So
number
you're
30.
trying your goal is to tackle the guy with the ball, but you've already decided, chances are I'm not going to get anywhere near that guy.
Take a guy out.
I'm gonna take a guy.
I mean, not out of the
But
game.
you
but just out
understand
of
that
the
if you
play.
take a guy out, you're essentially taking yourself out too, because you're not trying to tackle the guy. So essentially, the guy you took out has done his job of blocking you because you're no longer a threat to tackle the guy with the ball. If every single player on your team does what you do, the other team will score a touchdown on that play and every single play after that.
Well, and then like a kick return team, everybody's
Team?
running. Well, so I'm blocking for my teammates in theory or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, that in that
And,
case, you are supposed to find someone to hit.
Yeah, and in that case, everybody's over here. I mean, and then there's always a couple of kids who aren't near. Like the counterpoint for me on the other special team. That's me on the other team, so that's the guy I hit.
Oh,
Did
they
you guys
had their
meet
own
up?
Andy.
Did
Yeah.
you meet up before the game with the guy who was like you?
Yeah, it's basically
agreed?
probably the same dude. Hey, a guy that almost got cut. Be up and not hurt each other.
That's what the numbers are for, so
Yeah.
you know which guy is your guy. Oh,
Yeah,
I was
13, that's my guy.
using like a number 30 or whatever, it's just like a number nobody really wanted. 31, number 43 was always
Yeah.
a nemesis.
All those prime numbers, nobody wants those. 47,
Yeah, you stay away from
What?
those 56, 55s,
53.
those fucking assholes.
Why? What's the big deal? It's just a
Those are
fucking
the
number.
kids who are just all they know how to do is hurt. Put them in the middle. Like linebackers are generally, I think, as a lot, if you don't make it on through, just linebackers are the ones more likely to strike a female
What? I gotta
I
ask you.
agree with that. I agree
through
What's
with
a
that.
life,
linebacker? Where does a linebacker sit?
right behind the
Behind the
linemen.
line. Exactly.
Well, aren't they all behind the line?
All the linemen are just
No,
like
but they're
hogs.
behind their linemen. They're row 2.
They're the guys that line up in the front and block, Chaille.
No, they're not. They're the
They're the
guys that
ones who
line up
usually
behind
get
the
taken.
guys.
The ones
Yeah.
that line behind them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Line backers. Back
Yeah.
of the line.
Oh,
then in
oh,
particular,
okay.
Oh,
in
we're doing
particular,
Right
linebackers.
there for you the whole time.
in
Right
particular,
there.
the nose tackle or the guy who's like usually the middle linebacker, and that is the dude we were going to shove in a boat, and we pissed on,
What?
So it's like we were reclaiming our manhood back. This was the last day of high school or after graduation, and we shoved a kid in the boat. And after we peed on him, and then we retrieved him and brought him back because it's like, wow,
You're the bully.
Yeah, where's your apologies?
that's well, I didn't see him, man. And in fact, he kind of knew about it. And many years ago,
Wait, he actually realized you threw him in a boat and peed on
well,
him?
I think that kind of thing tends to leak out, for lack of a better term.
I think
Uh,
that sticks with you too.
Yeah,
there were
you're
a
gonna
lot of
remember the
people
guys who peed
around
on
there.
him.
It's like, I know what you did last summer or whatever. And it's like, eventually that story's gonna come out. Uh, but
That's a terribly mean thing to do, Andy.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
no, I'm pretty sure it wasn't my idea. Because I got to that party, to that party late. That's my defense.
That's it? That's your defense?
That was
They were already
already
peeing on him when I got there.
already.
Yeah.
There was like I got there real late, and me and my other friend that got there late wouldn't have had our heads into that kind of thing at that point. Like, let's pee on the, I think we were just getting into it, and other people were doing it. So it's like, well, I don't want to be, I don't want to be left out or criticized because I'm.
What kind of party are you at where you're like, what
It
are
was
these? Oh, over there, they're
well,
fucking
now I can
pissing on a
speak of it
kid.
because the person who was the father who owned this place is no longer with us as of recently. It was an ill-advised senior trip where all the boys of the senior class, which of about maybe 8 of them of us were friends, 8 to 10, and then they invited the other 20 or 30 or whatever it would have been, and a lot of the other ones were good at drinking. And I think they kind of underestimated how much booze would show up on its own because we'd all drove there and everybody smuggled booze in. And I think they're like, I think we had like celebratory beers that they had purchased, something like that. But everybody showed up, was really fucking drunk or had their supply and shit. So, it got squirrely,
So there's like 30 of you going out on this boat and you're all drunk.
Well, no, we were not. There wasn't it was a lake cabin. So there was just a rowboat, like you'd put a person in,
Oh, okay. All right.
to rescue them. Like, like if you were trying to smuggle a person away, you would put them in that boat. And like if you're,
But you pissed on him and like sent him to Valhalla.
he got peed on, and I don't know.
Viking funeral.
Like a funeral pyre.
It was like a firing squad. He did get peed on, but nobody knew whose pecker it came from.
Oh yeah, because everyone's dick was out.
Yeah. And I don't know if I was hydrated or anything. So, but that was just saying.
So what happened? Like what precipitated throwing this kid in the boat for the firing squad?
He got too drunk. He wasn't even a kid that anyone would want to do that to necessarily. He just was out. And I helped a guy. I I stopped a kid from joining the military at that same party because I was like being like, hey, can you do this? And then he tried to do it, and he wasn't quite as coordinated as I was. And I guess I knew that going in. But anyway, I didn't think
And
he
then he
would.
quit the Marines.
Well, he toppled over this. I didn't see. I mean, I didn't mean for bad shit to happen. But he did. It was just a
Said that
step
a
up
lot
thing, and
tonight.
then he fucking teetered over the thing and fucked up his ankle and knee, and I probably saved his life because he would have, would have been a bummer in the troops, and so same shit could have happened while he was over there fighting Charlie and Nam, in Desert Storm 2.
Yeah, he would have probably been in Desert Storm 1.
Yeah, so I helped him out there, but it was it was a pretty cool party. But
And he was your middle linebacker, and you guys all peed on
he
him. So
was,
he
he
was
was,
just
yeah.
drunk. He was just
Yeah, I
really
mean,
drunk and like passed out.
I wish he would have woke up and taught them kids a lesson, and I would have been, whoa, bro,
It's
for me.
now it makes more sense. It's if you it's a party foul, but if you pass out at a party, bad shit happens to you.
Yeah, we didn't drive. Yeah, it was, I mean, now I would probably like, hey, you better damn well make sure you're ready to be peed on because this is karma, and and I definitely thought I got away with it, and then bird cloud got me, and then I found out it weren't even bird cloud. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure karma come back around and hit me with some some poorly watered down urine from a
You're
drunkard,
you're
lifelong
back to
drunkard.
even. You're definitely back to even.
Yeah, like the whatever I pissed out in high
I
school couldn't match what
I
hit me.
was misunderstanding the story. I was picturing a person that's being like abused and like sad and crying, and you're peeing on them. This person's passed out. They're just so drunk they passed out, and now you're peeing on them and drawing on their
And then
face.
putting them out in the boat
It's
is
his
just
own
like
fault for passing out at a party.
somebody
You
could,
got to know better than that.
but
That's just
and
what happens.
then somebody could drown though is always the
Well,
downside
right.
of the prank of putting
Yeah,
somebody.
water's always the
And
it's
then
the
you got like
worst
Michael
idea.
or whatever coming back every fucking, anniversary to murder teenagers.
Michael
And
Myers.
this cabin would have been, I mean, this was a cabin that you think of when a
Crystal
bunch of
Lake.
teenagers get murdered. It's called,
Yeah.
it's a small private lake in Coos County, near Bandon. I don't even, it's like a 6 families owned thing on this lake, and it was like the perfect place. So if you wanted to hack up a bunch of people, I'm not going to give out the name just because back in the day when we would go there, we'd have to. Well, there was a private gate, but there was like a dude that I didn't even know. We slung it around that he was a Vietnam vet, like it was a slur, and we should have been bringing him like banana bread. And not no way, not no way. Oh, I'm sorry, man, not to infer your bananas because you're in Vietnam. Just respect or whatever. But he was a little eccentric, and he would show up and unexpectedly. But he never did anything like that shit. He's just a spooky dude. And maybe it's because Vietnam was a spooky place for those kids.
Maybe.
Andy, was it Bradley Lake or Laurel Lake?
Oh, Croft. But Bradley Lake is real close there.
Yeah. That was the thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I guess
For hazing, I guess, right?
it
Well,
would
that
have
sounds
been
like a
great.
fun party.
Well,
If someone
yeah,
passes
no,
out and gets peed on, that's a fun party.
anybody, if you have a friend who has a place like that, the weird shit's gonna happen there because it's this, you're away from your folks and there's bunk beds and you can stop and get booze on the way. So,
Yeah. Perfect.
So what was there an adult at the cabin? Just to
they
make sure
were,
you guys
but it
didn't
just,
burn it
I mean,
down?
I'm guessing that at some point they just became so horrified that they,
Lord of
they
the Flies.
just locked themselves someplace till the storm passed.
Yeah.
And then, went and I think they gathered up, made sure everybody's car keys were confiscated and everything. There's people just, it was like that big, sprawled out. And I mean, I'm guessing the nerds, the biggest nerds didn't show up. It was those tweeners that thought they could hang out with the full on,
Good
oh,
thing, right?
what do you got? It's like you're gonna, you might have played football with us or whatever, but were you out there after every game on Friday chugging beers, getting whiskey with Copenhagen in it and drinking on the weekdays, and then you're gonna come out last day of school and try to hang. But it was fun to see, that it was just, you don't get to see everybody at almost everybody in your class all fucking puking at one time or and in the woods too. So it was like, Vietnam of vomiting. You go down a trail and there'd be, well, shit, what's that? And, oh, hey, who's that? And shine a light on them. You're like, oh, fuck, that's hilarious.
Have some whiskey.
Yeah, by then I was I could drink a third. I could drink a third of Seagram's in a sitting with the fellas.
Oh,
And that
Just straight out of the bottle, just straight,
Yeah,
or
we'd
were you guys
go-
mixing
yeah,
it with
and then-
Coke or something?
and it didn't matter. I mean, the dude usually one would drink with the three dudes. It was the dude who was driving had a big monster truck, and he would go around.
Of course.
He was like the dude in fucking the original Roadhouse. They're driving around fucking being an asshole with his big rig and shit. Fucking third of Seagram's in him. And he's diabetic. So that can't be good.
no.
That's how I rolled, What sports, sports can only take you so far.
How far did it take you, Andy?
Well, I quit everything after football my senior year, and I was like, wow, I have a
Well,
lot
you
of
played the
time.
alumni game. It was a tough
yeah, it didn't.
match.
I mean, I kind of
Tough
felt like,
contest.
the coach was like, what are you doing here? Did you quit on the senior? I'm pretty sure.
Andrist, you're still benched.
You
Yeah.
showed up for the alumni game, and the coach said, "What are you doing?"
I'm pretty sure the coach was not there.
Got your helmet. You're like, "Oh, I didn't."
Yeah, I'm here to get that varsity letter, coach.
One more quarter is all I got to play.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really get into I mean, I would smoke a little weed or whatever, but I didn't get into drugs that much. But it was like part of it is I just had such a full schedule. You do the school, and then after school you're doing sports, and then you're all tired out, and you watch a little bit of TV, and you drink a few beers, and you pass out.
That's full.
Isn't that why sports exists? That's
That's a
usually
lot,
what
though.
they would try to. When I was younger, that's what we need to get you guys involved in sports. That way, you stay out of trouble. That was
Yeah.
always the line.
Right, and it's like there's a place for good athletes and drugs.
Football practice sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was from 3:30 till 6
Mm-hmm.
every fucking night after
Yeah,
school.
Didn't you have didn't you have to do like 2-a-days too sometimes?
At the start,
summer,
in the
yeah.
At the
summer.
start, yeah.
Yeah, so you
Quit
like
after
a
my
month of
sophomore
your
year.
a couple
Fuck
weeks
that.
at least of your summer was eaten up with 2-a-days.
The last 2 weeks of school of summer vacation was ruined.
Mm-hmm. And for what?
Well, for you,
Right up-
nothing.
A write-up in the newspaper? I mean, yeah, I got nothing. I don't think, I don't think anyone made out with me after a football game any more so than that when I quit. I mean, I had the same level of success with the ladies, and really, when it gets down to it, I mean, I wanted to hit people, and that was maybe cool or whatever, but I could have found other ways to do that. As I wasn't getting
You're trying to think like it's a John Hughes movie. Like at the end, then all of a sudden, Demi Moore comes up to you and like sees eye to eye.
What about this? It's just put on the football gear and then just really just run over one person that you don't like or something, rather than to go through practice and all this shit, and then you hope that you're going to get to land some hits on people or whatever. But just get the sure thing, put the gear on, run through somebody. And then,
Your whole thing depends on hitting someone who's not looking.
yeah.
It's not, it's
Oh, I've done it the other way. And I learned it was trial and error in football. It was like I would go run at people and they'd see me coming, and it was like, ow.
but and
Fuck
Andy,
you, dude.
in football, there's a specific person that you, depending on what position you're playing, is supposed to be trying to hit, not just anyone. You don't just
Yeah, it's
you don't
not
just
fucking
randomly
random.
look and
Well,
go like,
that's
that
why.
guy's not looking. I'm gonna run over there and give him a shot. It's not
Well,
paintball.
I also did applied it to like when I was a receiver, and well, we didn't have a quarterback who could stay, it was anyway, we didn't have much there. So there wasn't a lot of offense built around that, but there were also, that was the whole key to blocking, is you would try to hit, hopefully. I mean, that was the thing, a bummer, because it's like, you're either
Remember
running
at
out for a pass or you're going to block them, and then you kind of, your eyes will give you away or whatever. And if they think you're going for a pass, it's fun to block them because they're all off balance. But if they think you're coming at them to block them, then they'll put up resistance, and it's not very much fun.
right,
That's
right.
what
That's a
I
good
mean, I
trick.
didn't
You're
enjoy
right.
that. And a
You're
lot
right.
of times I found that I would arrive after the situation was winding down.
Andy bringing up the rear on all the
Yeah,
fucking plays.
basically, I didn't realize that's what I mean,
Well,
when I
I
took
heard the whistle and I got over there
look,
as quick as I could, guys.
that makes the most sense, because if your whole thing is hitting guys who aren't really paying attention, right when the whistle's about to blow, that's
Yeah.
exactly when they're fucking hitting. That's
Mhm.
exactly when you should be casting your fucking worm into the
And then there
water.
was like ways that, when the plays kind of break it up, and then there's bodies down or whatever, and your arms are up, and maybe you can kind of just lean and knock somebody over, technically the play's over or whatever, but it's like, who's gonna pass that up? So I get a few of those. I didn't get mainly. I know I got penalized a couple of times for late hits, but one was for throwing mud in an opponent's face,
For what?
throwing mud in an opponent's face on a play. It was
Ridiculous.
a tackle, and I just ended up with a handful of mud, and I threw it in his face. On it, I really wasn't a dirty play. It was a.
What?
I mean,
By definition, it's a dirty play.
there was a,
On every
it was,
level, that's the
but it was
that's a
just.
dirty play.
It was just like if I mean, if I would have come out of the play with a water balloon in my hand, same thing. I just was clearing my hand, and it went in his face, my downed opponent's face, and it wasn't in a hostile, I'm man up, and it was just like, oh shit, I got mud in my, oops,
Oh damn.
damn,
I've gripped a handful of mud. How did that happen? Here. And you
yeah.
throw it down. I love that
Like,
you
hey,
said technically
this kid in blackface, that's disrespectful. There's nobody
blow,
that would
blow
care.
the whistle on him.
Yeah, blow
Amos
whistle
and
on him.
Andy over here.
Somebody hit him with a water balloon, quick.
So maybe that was kind of the beginning of the end or whatever. I mean, maybe there was more than one reason I was kicked off or removed from the travel team.
Maybe.
I mean, if
You
look
can't
at the
go into
body,
somebody else's town and throw mud at them. They're going to
Oh
beat
my
you.
God.
I was
You can't
involved
be on the
in.
travel team. We can't afford to take Andrist.
We can
over
handle
to
that at
North
home because
Haverbrook.
we got backup at home, but we
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
go
yeah.
over to Clarksville and start throwing
Don't
mud
worry.
in their face.
Meat squad's got to stay home. You guys
Yeah.
stay back, guard the locker room. Just hang back here, set up the dance, help the girls set up the dance, put the streamers up. We'll be
I
back
wish
in
I could. I wish I
12
could
hours.
go back and say, Coach, those are. I don't think they're speed pills. I think it's just caffeine. No, but that was a big deal too, and I think that my name got tossed around there as probably one of the fucking, And I did like,
Wait, what happened?
well, junior year there was we were losing a lot, and there was rumors of drug
Just
use.
like sophomore and freshman year.
Yeah, drug use and team or whatever, and speed was popular, black beauties and all that shit, and we were, whoever. I mean, I was taking them, I wasn't like encouraging others or whatever. I would just take them. So I don't know how, but we got back from a road trip and the coach like stared at it, look, as we got off the bus, stared us down and shit. And then we had he lit into some people, and I was a drug.
Were you one of them that got lit into?
Well, I mean, it was a group, but it's like one of those, if you're guilty, you should feel bad. And I felt bad.
But
I
like,
also,
who was standing next to you when you were getting lit into by the coach?
well, several of us getting off the bus were asked if we were on drugs. I was like, doesn't the school, I mean, it's like a redundant question, we went on a short road trip, lost to a shady team by a lot. Our heads weren't in it, I mean,
But the answer to that when you're in, well, anytime is no.
well, it was when I
Right?
could get
I'm not
them.
enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I
No,
was.
what are you talking about? I was really invested in this game. Look at how muddy my hands are.
Uh-huh.
We just suck at football.
But I wasn't,
Why, do you have a video of me doing drugs?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would think that you would want to catch a guy like me as, well, this guy's not here for football. What's he here for? Like I might be the supplier or whatever, but I wasn't. I don't know where, but I mean,
Making a killing on $1 of Black Beauty. To the
Yeah,
fucking
I mean,
teammates.
Wait. So first there was a rumor of some drug use, and then they tried to loop you in on that. But
Well,
it's
while on
possible-
drugs.
but it is possible that you may have been the supplier.
I know there's a
Not in a bad
there-
way, not in a
I know there were a few
funny sort of
times
way,
it was to the
just
detriment of,
supplying the team with Black Beauty.
when I was given a starter's position, I maybe, I didn't feel qualified to handle, to mess with receivers or, it's like I didn't have the skills to be a DB, and I felt, like the drugs maybe would help, and they really didn't. And they should have. I just didn't know how to work with the drugs.
Yeah.
I was too focused on feet and not enough on shoulders.
Andy, where did you get Black Beauties back then?
David Dalton, who's dead now. David Dalton and
Narc.
he looked like me. If you look at
And
us,
now David Dalton's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What did I do, man?
I was
Fucking
just sitting here.
narking ass, punk
He-
ass narc.
well, here's the thing. He also was involved with stealing my, not that it mattered, but we had a graduation and we had people speak at it. Our speakers were stolen, and David Dalton was behind it, along with one of my classmates.
Stole
They
the school speakers.
Yeah, before graduation, which now
Oh, so they didn't even get to give their
they
graduation.
did a
They had to
cappella.
yell.
Yeah, we had, and then at some point we had lesser speakers hooked up, but we had a lesser speaker giving the speech. Fucking Mr. Bain, he was our class president and voted himself our class speaker. It's like, did you not see the writing?
You got Bane from Batman?
Richard Bain, or no, what was his name? I forget it. I think it was Dick Bain, or
Oh, wow.
a comic with the same name, but no, this guy, he turned into I mean, he was a douchebag then, but he turned into,
Yeah.
he's like a fucking, douchebag now. I should go find it. He's still around. I could go visit him, but I don't, besides him sucking up and ruining our graduation, he's just an a-hole. He's no Albert Dooley.
Well, Albert Gooley seems like a nice guy. I mean, I think he feels bad.
He's
about
worked for the city of North Bend for 30 years or some shit.
Wow.
of where
Is he going
Coquille?
through the
North
12
Bend,
steps
Oregon.
or something? Apologizing to fucking.
I guess. Yeah, he should, well, I mean,
That's an interesting question. What
Yeah, that might be
precipitated
it.
this? Because a lot of people after 30 years, they go, fuck it, or they don't remember.
well, because I mean, like all of a sudden I'm back, like I didn't expect to see him there. He didn't expect to see me there. And then he's like, so he has this
Maybe he did though. Maybe he
Like
did.
if I run into this kid, Jeff Hove, I'd feel like, hey man, probably wouldn't introduce myself. But if I did, I'd go, we were friends in 5th grade, and then sorry about what happened in 7th grade. I didn't know it. I mean, I should have
What
stepped.
happened in 7th grade?
Well, he just got bullied a bunch. It's like you're friends with somebody, and then popular culture accepts you and not him or whatever. And
You left him in the dust.
I left him in the dust there, and I hope that he. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go around looking people up to apologize.
Look, man, 7th grade's a lot different than 5th grade, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm a man now.
Yeah, no, my best friend in 5th grade had rotten teeth in 6th and 7th grade, and it's like, I can't hang out with you, man. Your dental hygiene is atrocious.
Wow, even in 5th grade?
Yeah, his teeth were rotted out, and then but then
those are like brand new adult teeth in 5th grade.
I know. Also,
eating bitter honeys and cups of sugar.
I don't know what happened. It was a bummer, maybe Camp Lejeune water. But like we'd play
Roundup with mouthwash.
We'd run around and go da 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 da, and then 6th grade, it was like, get away from me, bro.
Terrible.
But now I'd be like, hey man, I've just put $6 million man playtime in the past, and I suggest you get some dental hygiene going, bro.
Oh, is that the sound effect you did? Just
I thought it was Batman at first.
I know that he was obsessive about it, and he would run up on you. This is probably before life started kicking him hard in the balls or whatever. But he would run up and do that shit. And it's like, I was Oscar Goldman or whatever.
You had to play Oscar?
Yeah, he was the Bionic Man. I was Oscar Goldman.
Oscar Goldman was the manager for the Bionic Man.
Yep, I'd send him across the line.
No one in the history of play wants to be Oscar Goldman.
Wait, no, maybe he does. So you send him off to do all these crazy things, and then you just watched him like, all right, $6 million man, you got to jump off this bridge, and the bad guys are floating by.
And probably and then what I like to do is kick the kickball. They'd roll it like it was I never participated in kickball, but I would run out and kick the ball. So I'd go over and kick the ball.
Wait, during the kickball game?
Yeah, because it's like
and you wonder why the kids didn't accept him as he sent this kid into a kickball game.
I see a pattern here with your chasing the guys who aren't looking in football and just fucking running up as a non-player and kicking the kickball.
I would get excited, You'd run out and I would kick that out into the street, and it's just a burst of energy coming out that door, like Kramer. Come in with energy, and then that was when I would get shoved over up against the wall.
I mean, when you're waiting for recess, all you're waiting for is to hit that door, grab that ball, and then get out and start playing. And then this knucklehead comes out, starts kicking it over the fence. Your whole recess is spent shagging the fucking ball from Andy Andrist kicking it over the wall.
A bunch of corporates. Hey, you corporates, enjoy your fucking structured game, huh?
I'm a purist.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody should have told Albert that maybe he was justified in picking on Andy.
Well, what was what was his goal? Was it extort money, or did he want a piece of me?
Maybe he just kicked the ball a lot when it was his fucking turn.
Yeah, you were just being an asshole.
Louis was a couple years in front of me, so theory is off.
Okay, then that won't work.
I wonder if anyway. Yeah, I mean, I was against the structured games. I'd like to play the tether ball, but I'd come out, and if there's the tether ball's going, that's going, and then kick that out in the street. There's only so much.
You'd unclip it from the chain and then boot it into the street.
No, but if you could run out and then smack it while other people. I wasn't a bully. I just like to participate in games.
Oh, Andy had ADD so bad.
Jerk kid, there was. You ran out onto the field and kicked the kickball in front of someone. Then you ran over and smacked the tether ball while someone.
And I would have got away with all of it if it wasn't for like tattletales.
Those meddling kids.
Yeah.
Fucking David Dalton used to narc on me.
Well, Dalton, he wasn't. If it anyway, I would get
Dalton's no
narked on.
narc.
No
Yeah,
way.
no.
No
Oh man,
way.
and he had the hottest sister. I don't even. She might even made it into a Playboy issue for legit purpose. Like on campus or something.
My blood runs cold.
But the dude sold sold. He sold us on the idea of speed because we thought we were
That's
taking.
that's a good drug dealer, right?
And I'll bet he took the legit. I mean, he was like, he made you feel like you were getting legit drugs because he was always sweaty. All right, this is good speed. He's talking fast and shit. And maybe he was just topped up on caffeine too.
Yeah, well, it's a fine line.
But it was a bummer,
That
I'm
shit was
kind of
just caffeine
disappointed.
pills.
I'd heard that many
Right.
years after the fact that he sold rip-off speed. I was like, son of a bitch. Because I thought I was on, I mean, I could blame a lot of my football shortcomings on drugs. And really, I was just taking I
But
wasn't.
you took the drugs because you thought they were going to help you in football. So you can't, after you're still not good, then you can't be like, well, it's the drugs that I would have been good if not for the drugs. You took the drugs because you already thought you weren't good.
Yeah,
Right?
well, anyway, it was a team, it was a team sport, I mean, I could have, on a different team, I might have been a shining star, but on this team,
But like tennis,
well, I don't,
bowling.
I
No,
was,
Andy, you know what you would have been good at in tennis? You would have been good at being the ball boy who runs out there after
oh,
the
I did do
point
some
and
of that.
grabs the tennis ball and runs away.
Yeah, I did that, but not what, like for the tennis club, not no,
No, that's using your natural instincts
man,
for
I was
good.
I was basically no. This was like before I was, they put me on the board. I think I was just my folks didn't understand pedophilia or whatever, but I would go down and
Clearly,
play. I would be ball boy for old fellas playing tennis, and then eventually they were challenging me to games that I would no show at, which I wonder what would have happened if I had showed up for one of those matches.
wait. So like you're running across there, grabbing the ball,
Well, I
and
did
they're
a little
like,
of
"Hey,
that.
this kid's pretty good. We should play him."
Well,
Like,
in the tennis club, and then, but how am I, like I'm a kid and I'm being challenged by adults.
yeah, that's red flag. You actually showed really good instincts to for once to run away
Well, I
from
couldn't hit a serve in, so
He was
probably
seeing
saved me
somebody.
from being raped 2 years early. I kept my cherry intact for the right gentleman. You don't want to just throw it around because somebody challenges you down the bracket.
hmm
I bet I could take that, boy.
I mean, just the fucking like that whole town. Just imagine just a bunch of creepy dudes just all looking for the like new meat, It's like it's so
Well,
brash.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not that anymore, but it, it seemed like a witness relocation situation back in the day. But for preachers and I mean, not like witness relocation, but just people who caused problems somewhere and moved there.
It's just very backwoodsy though, right? I mean, it's just like all loggers and a logging
Northern
town. And
exposure
they've
in
all been
Finland.
surrounded by trees and, kind of left to themselves for
We
years
would,
and years and
yeah, the
years.
places we go drink were like log ponds, and yeah, it's very, very woodsy town.
Yeah.
Oh, so I brought this up as I was talking to kind of a few. There was like 2 or 3 dudes standing around and not, but I said
At the funeral.
at the funeral down in
Okay.
the basement, this one guy joked about Antifa in the brought it up during the ceremony, or this guy's chair was missing, and he joked that Antifa must have taken it. And anyway, I said, I'm actually in Antifa. and it was like, you know, it's like, whoa, I felt it. Like they, you know, I had to explain myself real quick, and they didn't really get the joke of it, or whatever.
What
You
is
just
the joke?
proved to them that Antifa is real.
Yeah, yeah,
I know a guy.
Yeah, he
yeah,
admitted to being in Antifa.
I
Then he
said I went
backed
to.
off. Once he realized he had told us and that he was spilling the beans, he fucking acted like he didn't fucking mean it.
Thought you guys were
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my helmet with Antifa written on it, and I went up to the Portland, and I I participated in the riot until I saw they had snacks, and then I left and went to the beach. But I think that they were just like judging me because I was there, not, you know, like, I mean, I could have told them I stomped a cop's fucking face.
They don't know your propensity to just join lines that you don't have any idea what it's
Yeah,
for.
yeah, it might hand you $50 for being in a Honda.
Yeah.
No. But just the fact that I would even say that I was in Antifa was like, you know, I
That's
bet
funny.
Gooley was probably clinching up.
But take his apology back. He's like, fuck it. Glad
Ah, fuck.
bullied
I
you.
wasted it.
That wouldn't go over well in my hometown either.
Yeah, I'd like to drive like the death mobile from Animal House that says Antifa through town.
Belching black smoke
Yeah.
and fucking doing burnouts.
I believe they call that rolling coal.
What? Really?
When they
Coal?
like, there's a thing that's happening now. People with these big four by trucks with these big fucking exhausts, they'll get in front. They'll maneuver to get in front of a hybrid car or an electric car, and they'll hit the gas pedal, and the black, like the diesel, it's a diesel engine
diesels,
will just, and it's called rolling coal. And they take videos and they post them on social media.
You fucking
Abuse us little soy boys in our Priuses.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
That's
now I got a lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh man, that might cause the shit will cause. You know, I mean, that's
black lung.
Mybrofyalgia. What is that?
Bunch of lottery winners.
Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia.
That's what it is. Mybrofyalgia.
I have mybrofyalgia and dyslexia.
Not in that order.
So Chaille's in. Are you in Texas?
Yes. I just got here like an hour before the podcast.
Yeah. Where are you? Do you know the town you're in?
Yeah.
Austin. I'm upstairs from Erickson.
Oh shit! I thought you were still. I thought you were driving. You've been driving.
He got here an hour ago, 2 hours ago now.
I thought you were in a hotel.
Oh.
Right. Welcome to Texas.
Pretty sweet place.
Yeah, the maid didn't clean up the room.
You had time to get the green screen up?
Yeah. Yeah, we start moving in the apartment tomorrow.
Nice.
I can't help because I have to be at work.
That's all right.
I'd love to.
We don't have anything here, so it's going to only take one trip.
Self-driving cars.
Chad, are you going to go to the yard sale this weekend that Stanhope is running?
I wanted to be in Globe already, but I was waiting. I'm headed out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I got it. I think I got it. Oh, here. Yeah, you got this. The camper van.
Mobile Airbnb.
I've been tricking it out. I had to do a little bit. That's why I haven't left yet. I've been doing a little maintenance on it, and I got it in great shape now.
Kind of urine jug.
What's up?
You gotta have cool Christmas lights in it. You got any cool lights?
I'm looking. I've only been doing the bare necessities because I gotta eat while I'm in Globe. So but I definitely was like today. I was looking at they have the LED strips.
Yeah, that's what you
go
need.
around.
You can pick any color. It'll have a little remote. You can make it soft, bright.
What's really cool about those is
they're great.
you you get a
Those are gonna
strip
happen.
and you put it on, and then you can cut it
That's so weird.
to length, and it's like, why does electricity go through this? And it's like, it's low voltage, it's not a big deal, but it is very cool. The accent of the LED lights is having stayed in vans and makeshift stuff in the past, having a light that you can dim down is really key. Since you don't want something like really bright and
all the different colors you can choose from too.
I have several camping lights right now, and then there was a little area right next to my bed that I could clip this cool bendable reading light. It usually clips on a book, but I can clip it. Little bedside light, and I got it all tricked out. It's
nice.
Got a Mr. Buddy heater.
And if you park in the front row of a Starbucks, is there a Starbucks in Globe?
No, there's one inside the grocery store in the front.
Yeah, if you park close enough, you could probably get the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I think McDonald's has Wi-Fi now too. So you just go in and order one thing and ask what the Wi-Fi is, and then you sit out front.
They've got a 24-hour gym. So there's a little complex parking lot. It's a big parking lot that's got a 24-hour gym, and then across from there is like a little diner, old school. Used to be called Hobo Joe's, and there was just pictures of like hobo clowns all over through there. Ew. And then they changed that, and now I don't remember what it's called, but. So then you go across over by the 24-hour gym, and in that same complex is the weed store, the beverage house, a dollar store, and a Tractor Supply. So if I could park in there, I could fucking live there for, indefinitely.
That's a hillbilly mall.
Oh, man. They got every supply I need.
Absolutely.
Just right there. And so... That's, if not about a quarter mile, Hobo Joe's.
Oh my God.
I know you don't want to park your van near where Andy Dick parks his van. If I know anything about van living.
So I've got solar power, but if my dad's about a half a mile or maybe a mile and a half away from the gym. And he has a little lot of land that he just has a workshop and stuff on, and he's got electricity, so I could park inside that, and it's got a locked gate and everything behind it. And so the van actually has a plug-in on the side of it, so I could have full electric inside the van.
Shore power, I think they call that.
Shore power. Yep, that's exactly what it's called. I've learned. So,
wow, is that
either way, I'll be pretty well comfortable.
Is that Chad in Globe?
That's me.
Is that a thing, Globe?
There was a Hobo Joe's. This is from a website, Weird Arizona. I guess there was a Hobo Joe statue somewhere.
I wish we would have
in Buckeye.
I wish we would have had that Hobo Joe's. That would have been fantastic.
I don't think you should drink a hobo's coffee.
I hung out with Hobo Danny for a while today.
Did he have coffee? Would you have had any of it? I don't think.
No, I gave him I got donuts because I saw him sitting there, and I asked him which one he preferred, and then I took the donut out that I wanted first, and then gave him the bag.
Nice.
So you bought a bag of donuts, and
I bought 2 donuts.
One? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him sitting there, and so I went in there. And then he goes, because he just started his shift. He goes, "You got a beer?" And then I was like, and I was kind of stoned, so I just like checked my pockets. I was like, "Oh no, I don't have a beer on me." But I gave him $1, which got him. He said that'll get him a beer. He'll go to there's a liquor store by there, and so it was like, helped him out. Gave him a donut and his first beer of the day.
Is he working on his sign there?
Yeah. It's his sign said anything helps. So I go, okay, how about a donut then? And then he goes, yeah. So I mean, he proved me right because he
does accept donuts in really small letters at the bottom.
Please, no more donuts.
Please.
I just had my teeth cleaned.
I mean, people always want to give his cat something, and I know that his cat gets plenty. His cat's a big fucking dude, and full of food, and it pisses. He's got it on a long leash, and he goes, watch out, because I set my bag of groceries down. He goes, watch out, it'll spray it. I was like, no, I just got bacon, so I don't want that at all. I mean, I got, like cooked bacon. If it was in a package, anyway, you don't want to give it. So I
You don't want
picked
to
up
get
the bag.
catfish
Well,
on
you,
it.
we don't
And-
want catfish on you anyway, whether you're carrying bacon
Whatever you
cooked or
got at
not.
the store, you don't want catfish on it.
Right.
I
And
don't.
then
I
guarantee
can't
it.
think of anything
anything, yeah.
and
And-
it from anywhere in
Right.
any
And
situation.
so I
that's
did.
better.
I picked
Unless
up
you
my
bought
bag
catfish.
and held it, and his cat walked by me, and then it pissed. It sprayed, and you know how they shake their ass and
Yeah.
all over the front of a guy's car. The guy wasn't there, so it's like I don't care. I'm down.
It's on a
When I'm
leash and
hanging
it
with
fucking
Danny.
hates it.
Yeah, when I hang out there with Danny, I'm might as well be a bum or whatever, whatever we call ourselves. I mean, I don't feel like a shopper at that point when I'm hanging out
Right.
with
It's a
Danny.
fine line.
You're
Yeah.
loitering at that point. We have a little video. Andy got us a little.
Oh,
Do you want
yeah.
to set? Do you want to set the clip up, Andy?
Well, it's just Danny's he's him and his cat are together all the time except when it's loose.
Whoa.
You'd want to help that guy out, right?
I'm gonna have that cat.
Does that cat have a fucking air tag on it?
Oh, what?
I think it does.
He has an
Yeah.
air tag on his collar. So
Tracking.
I take it either he stole this cat from someone who put an air tag on him.
No,
or,
he's had that cat
Danny,
forever.
Hobo Danny is an iPhone owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he has an iPhone. His first thing he tells me if I want, because I'm always threatening to, set up business near him, and he's, I think you just got to get the right outfit and embrace the culture, and then let the dirt work its way through you.
What would your sign say?
Mine would just say, "Go fuck yourself" or something. I don't know.
Really? You think that would be bringing a lot of money?
What's the point of getting a corner if you're gonna say go fuck yourself?
At least be one of those. I just need it for weed. I admit it.
Yeah.
No. I think I like it, Andy. I think actually, now that I think about it, that's a refreshing
Fuck
take.
you.
Go fuck yourself, and then people will be like, "That's hilarious. I'm gonna give you $1."
Yeah,
Just
and I
mumble
just
a
go,
lot, so you
"No,
don't have to
thank
talk
you.
to people about
What
it.
part of go fuck yourself?
You're like, "This guy's great. He's so
I'm trying
into
to
it."
hand you
Here's
money. Go
$5.
fuck yourself. Here's
Here's
okay. Here's $5. Go get the what part of fuck yourself don't you
Oh,
understand?
you think your $50 is gonna do enough to improve my life? I don't know.
You'd be out there for 15 minutes and you'll be done working for the day. You have $350.
Yeah, one car. Andy hangs it up. That's
Hustle
it.
them up.
One car a day. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and I mean,
Poor
his
Hobo
whole
Danny's over
setup.
there eating cat food.
His whole setup, you're down with it, or I mean, people just when he's making his sign, people are like, "Oh, when do you start?" Can I,
You're not open yet.
yeah.
When do you start? When do you start begging?
And
Dang it, I
he's
had all that
down.
change.
He's down from a guy I've been watching for, I mean, I keep my eye on him, not in a like suspicious way. It's just like, the guy who has his head.
Envious?
Well, there's a guy who has his head down a lot in a wheelchair, and I go, is that guy?
Go figure.
I said, do you want me to roll that guy out of here? And he goes, no, I know, he knows the guy, and he goes, funny thing is that he can walk. Oh, of course, but it's like, he gives little trade secrets out. It's like that's how
hardly a trade secret.
Yeah. Well, but I mean,
I mean, anyone can sit in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I know. That's what I would do too, because I wouldn't want to like Dan. It's like, well, I mean, why aren't you fucking doing yard work for somebody or something if you got legs?
Right.
But Danny's got a cat, so you're like, well, I get it. This guy can't work. He can't work because he's got
that cat looks fine. I mean, it looks like it gets plenty of. It's got a fucking air tag on its neck. That's $30 right
Well, I
there.
told you he was outside like by my mailbox then one foggy morning and looking for his cat because his cat was missing. He said, I got it tracked right, like he knew his cat was within a block of my house. And I'm like, well, this is interesting. It was
I'll be looking for your bike, dude.
but I know, I'll know that cat when it shows up next time. Hey, hang on. Let me get a hold of Danny.
It looks like a specific breed of cat. It doesn't look like a shelter cat. It looks like it's in really good shape. Either they just stole him this morning or it's getting regular baths or something.
Well, I think, like,
I'll pull
what
his
is
picture up again.
a cat needs food and exercise. And that's what Danny's cat, like most cats like to lay around and nap, but it's like, his has to do it on the go. So it's probably a healthy and it gets nice, handouts and shit. But Danny, if Danny if Danny let all the tips and shit go to him, he would get too heavy. I think being lean helps his character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can't be a big tub of goo asking for a handout.
Yeah, like when you hand Danny a sandwich, you can almost feel
I'm hungry.
You can almost feel the calories. Yeah.
Andy, you're saying like really obvious things, like the guy in the wheelchair, he can actually walk, and I think it's better if a hobo looks skinny. It's like this is panhandling 101.
Like if you saw Inman, dressed in the same clothes or whatever, you wouldn't want to help him because he's just fat enough to be like, yeah, whatever. Like Danny and Inman would dress alike, sort of torn shit and shoes with tape and shit. But yeah, look at that fucking cat. Could be like in a zoo.
Yeah, it's a good looking cat.
Like a Mancoon or something. It's like a weird breed.
Thick fur.
It's named Life. So that's
Life the cat?
Yep, Life. He's like flips the F around like Prince, fancy version of it. But
you've seen the cat's name written?
It'll outlive.
Yeah, what are you talking?
Well,
what did you say, Andy? Say that again.
Well, he just has it's LIFE, but the F is reversed.
Why is he writing the cat's name down for you?
Well, it doesn't matter what your
You
cat.
get birthday cards from him to sign.
You go here, cat.
Or maybe he put it on the sign. Maybe he put it on the sign, like life needs a life.
It's like my dog's tag is Fat Riley, but it's not really Fat Riley. It's just Riley.
Or maybe it's one of those Fs that is actually like on the Declaration of Independence, and it's actually an S.
He's a great calligraphist.
Is a cat homeless or just an adventurer? I think that cat's just
cat does not look like it. Like I know hobo people, which I really don't like it when they don't like me calling them hobos, but I don't like it when they have an animal because they're using the animal as a way to curry sympathy. And this cat looks completely well fed. That is a very healthy looking cat. What's he doing with a hobo?
It sleeps in his backpack and shit. And it's just, I think if it wasn't for Danny, that cat would probably be homeless.
No, he would be the first one grabbed from a shelter.
That cat is homeless.
They're outdoors.
Yes, well, that's what the definition of homeless is.
It's like I got an indoor-outdoor cat, and it's just a cat that's outdoors. It just happens to spend that time in different locations.
Cat, but cats don't care. They're fine to live outside if they lived outside their whole life.
Yeah. I have a cat that looks almost just like that one, and
I'm pulling it up right now.
It is the fattest fucking cat in the world, and it refuses to go outside. In the morning
because it knows it'll be back out on the road.
In the morning, I take it out and run over to the corner of my front yard and set it down, and then walk back with it to make it take a fucking walk, because it immediately just makes a beeline back to the house. And then about the third one, it's just pissed at me. But she fucking kicks her big little legs out of her fat body. It's a nightmare. So
yeah.
I
be
feel
a good
bad for
fucking-
Danny trying to wrangle that fat fucking cat out there if it's anything like mine.
It's his is I'm guessing that the when you're tipping Danny, you're also it's like a monkey on a string kind of situation.
What?
The fucking monkey and the organ grinder.
Okay.
He's a modern day organ grinder. Instead of the monkey doing tricks, his cat
Yeah,
is on the
right.
front of a car parked in the, I was for once glad not to be in the handicap spot because the cat, Hobo Danny's cat will spray you. I don't care if my car has cat piss on it though.
So you
It
talk
does.
like spraying, like marking territory, like don't
Yeah.
just. Yeah.
Well, when you're outdoors, everything you got to mark,
Yeah.
But it looks like it feels good. When a cat's spraying, it looks like it's sort of coming and pissing at the same time.
Spray is pee.
But yeah, it seems to be fucking, they seem to enjoy it. That's all I'm saying.
Good. Oh shit.
So
Took a
somebody
while, but
comes out.
here. Oh shit! I'm sorry. The picture didn't come out right, but it's Chad's cat.
Oh wow.
Horrible. Sorry.
Flat.
I know. He's
Looks
laying on
like
his
a
back.
fucking rug.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody
that's
fell on it.
it.
Chad, did you step
So-
on
The
it?
fucking it's so fat. I hate
He-
that cat.
Do you ever do skinning? I mean, that would make a cool, like a little throw rug or something.
Yeah. She got so fat she couldn't clean her back, like groom her back, and she was mean. So you couldn't brush her because she'd attack the fuck out of you. Sometimes she'll just attack
Yeah.
the fuck out of you as you're walking by. So like 3 times we had to take her to the vet, get her knocked out so they can shave her bald, and then we get her back, and it lasts about a year. And because her back would get so matted, and but we couldn't help her. And then after about the 3rd year that we did that, she started letting me. She loves me. She'll come over to me all the time, but I hate her. She stinks.
Yeah.
And she can't groom herself as well, like a real cat. So I have a little brush that she'll let me brush her back now.
She's like one
And,
of those, she's the cat equivalent of one of those like fat Appalachian ladies that's got like a scratch and stick. She scratches her
Uh-huh.
but
Oh.
she can't reach them. You could
Yeah.
put a little washcloth on it and just,
Oh,
wrap it up,
gross.
do a little scrub down.
That's my fucking bitch, right? Well, my lady Riley, she makes her backside smells like urine. And her mouth, it's all my neglect or whatever. She's got a stinky breath. So I go pet her and then I'll pay you. It's like, hey, and then I'll go right to the middle. The middle, you're safe. At the backside, yeah, right there. Not for much. She's stumbling on them stairs again.
Riley's still hanging in there, huh?
Hanging in
She's
there.
yeah. She's
One more day, Riley. One more
no,
day.
that's what.
Riles.
And
Going for your baby.
She'll be 9.
Your cat.
No, I was joking. I don't remember how old your dog was, but I remembered it wasn't as old as we thought.
13. She's 13.
That's pretty old.
Getting
Yeah.
old.
That's pretty old.
Oh.
She's fucking good. Yeah, it's like you said, another day.
We realized the other night my wife's dog is 18.
Holy shit.
Oh my
What
God.
kind of dog?
Is that the bulldog?
No,
No.
that one's 9. The Jenny's little dog is 18, is a Maltese poodle.
Oh my God.
Like Andy said, like her teeth are like just all rotten, so her breath, she can't hardly eat, but she'll steal shit if she's still tiny, but if she can steal your plate, she'll throw it on the floor. And she's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Dogs are like humans. If you treat them okay, even no matter how old and senile they are, they won't go away. Like dogs,
Every time my wife leaves, she just shakes like a fucking crazy, just quick,
I
like,
hate
all
that.
right, well, you're gonna die, aren't you? And she never does. She just keeps going.
They
got
hang
one
in
eye.
there.
Whenever Mary Jane was little, they were playing and she put too much pressure on her head.
Ugh.
One of her eyes popped out.
Ah,
God.
So I was gonna knuckle it back in.
Yeah.
No.
And I
Does
was
it
like,
work
maybe
like
I
that?
shouldn't
I
do
don't
that.
think it works like that. Does it work like that?
No, we went to the vet and I told them that, and they were like, "Yeah, don't do that. That wouldn't have helped." So they
Yeah.
had to, but it wouldn't have hurt
The Marty
because they
Feldman
had to.
surgery.
That's when I learned the term enucleation, and they had to cut her eye off and
Oh,
seal it up. So
dang.
Oh man.
that's what she looks like.
Winky.
Oh, that's almost exact. My 4-year-old
Wouldn't you?
granddaughter the other day was like, "Papa, why does Penny only have one eye?" And I tried to explain it to her, that what happened, and she's like, "For real? Yeah, for real.
Why don't they put
Is it
eye
just
patches on
got
them?
fur over it?" I'm like, "No, it's sewed shut." I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be explaining this to a 4-year-old.
and
No.
you think the multi-poo needs an eye patch like a
Hell
pirate?
yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, they're always put ribbons on them and shit.
Just scratch.
We've talked about it.
Yeah. I think a dog would be all right with it.
She
Yeah, if you
would
tape
know.
it, if you tape it on, it'd be no problem.
Just looks fun. It'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's too late with
You almost want to
Riley.
poke your dog's eye out just to try it on Riley.
Wait, how did you squeeze the dog, Chad? How do you step on it? I mean, what do you do?
No, my Mary Jane, my American bulldog,
Oh yeah, that's right.
was playing with her, and just didn't
Jeez.
bite her, but just bit down and smushed her head.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was sorry.
Like one of
about
those
it.
toys that you squeeze and then
It was
eyes
an
go up.
accident, and she was sorry.
Sure.
My God. That's the worst. Your dogs are playing. Oh, look how much fun they're having.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Fucking eyeball goes rolling past your feet.
She just looked really surprised.
No, she didn't
Yeah.
look much. She was looking at the floor. She didn't even realize why.
I mean, when your eye pops out of your head, you're allowed to look surprised. Even without eyebrows, you can tell that dog was surprised.
It was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, man.
Oh, what a poor puppy.
Poor dog.
Yeah, it's too bad.
She'll be gone
Great
soon.
way to end the show. All right, what are you guys doing? What are you into? We started the new True Detective, so
Yeah, I think Sunday night is when the new episodes come out, and they're up to 3 right now. I have to catch up. I didn't watch 1.
very cold.
I saw 2 3 times already, and I haven't seen 3 yet. I'm all over the place, but I don't have HBO Max, so I can't watch it on demand.
Yeah.
You can watch it here. It's a very cold show.
Yeah.
Cold and dark.
Cold and dark and kind of unlikable folk, but
We'll see how it goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's shot beautifully, and the acting's good. So
I like the bodies and the
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
death sickle or whatever they call it.
The
corpse sickle. The corpse
frozen
sickle.
naked dudes.
Yeah.
Thawing out. That would be fucking.
You got to remember, Andy, when you're looking at those bodies in there, a special effects guy had to hand punch all that hair. One hair, like on the arm, one hair at a time goes in there with a special punch. Sometimes with the hair, you can take a tuft of hair and you poke it through, and a couple go in at the same time for the volume. But just the amount of time spent in making that, is pretty fucking amazing. Yeah.
I watched a movie. It was all right, called Bad Times at the El Dorado.
Oh yeah. It's the one with Jeff Bridges.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a good cast, and it's sort of Tarantino-esque, but not really. And it's an all right. I mean, I wasn't blown away, but I liked Jeff Bridges a lot, and he was very good in it. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird, violent little story.
Did you get the whole kind of Kennedy connection?
Not really.
With the What was it, like the secret room and the taping and all that stuff?
Yeah, not necessarily Kennedy. But
It
maybe I
was,
missed some of the subtext
yeah.
of it. But yeah, it was creepy and violent. But yeah, I could see where I read some criticism that it was tried too hard to be a Tarantino, and I don't really get that. Other than it was just kind of they cut back and forth in the timeline story wise. You know,
Bad Times at the El Royale.
El Royale and Chris Hemsworth, who's going to be in the new
Helmsworth.
Helmsworth.
No, it is Hemsworth.
He's
There's no
yeah, yeah, there you go. And he's all fucking cut. If you like dudes, he's a fucking sculpted gold leader dude. And but he's gonna be in the new Fury Road movie with Furiosa. I can't think of the name.
The Mad Max movie.
He's gonna be the dude in that. I don't know if he's the main dude that becomes the warlord guy.
Well, Charlize Theron was Furiosa in.
Right, and this is the backstory,
Okay.
the origin tale.
Hmm.
So anyway, it was an enjoyable little violent movie, and I also like the it's a interesting story. I think it's on HBO or maybe Netflix. American Tragedy or
American Horror Story.
No, it's a 3-part. God damn it!
What is it?
Maybe American Nightmare. That's the name of it, and it's a 3-part story of a couple that gets abducted, and it's like, did it really happen like they said, and that kind of thing. But it's 3 parts, and it's one of those fucking outrageous stories. No midgets, which I like.
Or dogs.
No, yeah,
American Nightmare.
yeah,
Is this it?
yeah.
Huh.
So are you watching that, or you're gonna watch it?
No, I watched it.
Yeah.
If that's the same one, I might
I
have
don't
it.
think that's it.
No, I don't think
that
it
looks
is.
like a Scott Pilgrim Saved the World kind of fucking.
Yeah, that's like a movie.
So fucking strike that recommendation as I don't even have it fully cooked.
I know what you're talking about. My wife watched it, and I was doing other stuff, but I caught parts of it, and it's pretty interesting.
So okay, so it says here, American Nightmare, March 23rd, 2015, Denise Huskins and her boyfriend Aaron Quinn were woken in the dead of night by a home invader. Huskins was kidnapped, and what transpired next in the terrifying tale is the subject of American Nightmare, a new docuseries from the Tinder swindler filmmaker Felicity Morris and Bernadette Higgins.
That's the one, and it moves along
good.
pretty good, and it's a good, interesting story for sure.
It's on HBO.
Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Right on. All right. What about you guys?
I've been watching I didn't think I had one, but I just remembered I've been watching a show on I might have already said this one too. Oh, I'm high. On Max called Yellowstone Wardens.
Oh yeah. It's it's following the wardens around as they're
Montana. It's like cops, but it's Montana game wardens.
Yeah,
and most of them are cool as fuck. They'll give people breaks and fucking give them the minimum, and we're not going to take your we could do this, but here we're just going to give you $100 fine and don't do that anymore. And but the scenery is amazing. It's the whole Montana.
Well, it's Yellowstone.
Yeah.
The crown jewel of national parks in America.
Yes, and the game and it's just fun to watch. Anyway,
yeah,
that's what I've been watching.
Cool. What's that on?
Max.
Oh, right. You said that. I'll check that out.
So I actually the whole trip out here, 2 days driving, I finished Coyote America, the one about just the coyote in North America and our just fucking ridiculous idea of controlling nature by killing it. It's pretty amazing. Have you gotten into it, much, Chad?
I've started it like 3 times, but I've got several books going, so it just never.
Yeah.
And also, it's gonna be weird for me because I know this guy is very science based, so it's gonna be a kind of an epiphany for me because I've already said here, like I see so many coyotes every night. They're yipping every single direction
Yeah.
around here. This year is so full of coyotes. And I've already said I'm going to start going. I was going to do it on my Twitch channel, go out and start shooting some coyotes. But I have a feeling that this book is going to open my eyes a little bit, and so I really need to settle into it, I think.
Well, I thought about you a lot listening to this, going, Chad's not gonna like this part, because the science basically says that by killing the coyotes en masse, like with poisonings and stuff like that, number one, you get a lot of bykill. You get all these other animals that will, bears and other things that will eat these things, that like they'll just throw poison out, thousands and hundreds of thousands of traps. You'll kill, but when the coyote is so successful as a predator that just creates them getting bigger litters. And they end up, so even when you have like hundreds of thousands of coyotes killed over, a 10-year span or something like that, there's really, it dips and then it spikes back up. So it really is the lessons learned from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up into the 70s when they did the Endangered Species Act and stuff like that, is they had these ideas of managing that are now completely bullshit. And that is one of them, is that you just don't fucking go out and kill everything to try and manage it. But, the people that want this to happen are the people who have cattle, are the people who have sheep.
Yes.
And they're saying that, and they're going
chickens.
by all the, they're saying, and they're using all these studies that were completely bullshit back in the day, that the coyote is more like, now it's a little bit different because of the cities, but they're really just, they're omnivores. They're not killing the elk. That was a big thing of why they wanted to make sure they killed all the coyotes.
They are killed. Coyotes down here will kill Coues whitetail, but I don't think we have a shortage of Coues whitetail. You know what I mean?
And that's the problem, is they killed the wolf, which the wolf kills coyotes. When they eradicated the wolf from Yellowstone, the coyote population completely spiked. So it's just, it is very interesting.
I will definitely get into it. It's just that I've made it far enough that you're right. Like I was like, all right, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And then I look him up and I'm like, okay, this is a smart motherfucker. So I guess I better get ready to learn some shit and change my whole fucking viewpoint on something, which is, I had to wrap up some other books. So I'll get to that one soon.
I think you'll walk away being more educated. I don't think it's going to make you change anything.
Yeah.
But
I might not go out and fucking shoot them like I plan on doing, so we'll see.
Well, there.
I got
you'll have a reason.
That says you
may have saved some lives tonight.
Yeah. Well,
eventually, there's going to be a coyote that dies if it comes anywhere near Chad's chickens.
Yeah, if they're my yard, I mean that's I don't.
But that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
They're when they were going out and killing all these animals, they were inventing, after World War II. They invented so many poisons after the war that they were.
That's a woman's way to murder. So
yes,
you shouldn't be doing that.
But they're just going out and like killing a horse, poisoning the horse, and letting everything come by and eat it, and then everything just dies.
I have never killed a coyote. Depressing. I have never really wanted to go coyote hunting because I'm not gonna skin a coyote. I'm not gonna eat a coyote. I'm not, it's like a dog. I'm not gonna go over there and skin it. The hides are worth $5, I think, in Arizona right now. So it's not, worth all the trouble to do work. So I've never done it because of all those reasons.
$5 skinned?
I don't want. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, and probably canned, but or at least salted. But I just never wanted to shoot something and let it lay out in the desert. But again, my redneck way of thinking is there's just so many this year, and I'm like, well, I'll thin them out, but I can already tell from the start of it is like, you're kind of fucking ignorant. You're thinking, which is not uncommon. That happens to me a lot. That's
Can't you
why I
herd
try
him
to
over on
read a
the other?
lot because
You should
I
just herd him over
definitely
into
am dumb as
Mexico.
shit.
Put him over in Mexico, and then that fence will
We
keep.
can't. We built a wall. We can't get him over there.
Shit.
They're pouring into Texas. Just bring those coyotes down to Texas. There's lots of ways to get across. That's all I hear about.
So yeah, I need a new book.
All right. Well, maybe someone will have some suggestions in the Patreon.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
All right, everybody, we did it. What was that one? 253 or something like that?
253.
253. Wow. Congratulations. We did it. Anybody got to plug anything or have anything happening? I don't think so, huh? All right. Very good.
Oh, Doug's new book. You can get it at Stanhope Store. They're signed right now.
Right on.
And if you're in Bisbee today, there's a sale at Doug's property.
Right.
The weather's supposed to be really bad. So
It's an
He's-
indoor
he's
sale,
a-
isn't it?
yeah. He's opening the other studio next door, which he also has, and I think he's gonna have a little coffee bar in there too. So you'll be protected from the elements. But Brad and Kelly are also bringing a bunch of stuff that they're selling from when they closed down their shop that was down in Old Bisbee. So there's a lot of stuff there.
Gonna be the hottest outdoor sale in Bisbee history. Maybe.
Certainly on Van Dyke
I'm
Street.
gonna-
Yeah.
gonna be
Well,
sorry
no,
to
this is
miss
over
it.
by the Safeway.
Oh.
He got two
Oh.
frontage
Oh, that's right. He's got
storefronts.
his
Oh, okay, yeah. So get a hot dog after you're done shopping the sale.
Across the corner from Jimmy's Hot Dogs. That's right.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
Wow.
Good shit.
Nice. That sounds actually pretty good. All right. So if you're in Bisbee, go do that.
Wow, he sent me some pictures. There's a lot of shit. I'll put them up in the
Perfect.
right here right now. And then they'll
Alright.
yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, fellas. Thanks for being there. My favorite 2 hours of the week. Love you three guys and love all of you out there. Thanks for being there. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon. We'll see you next time.